I thought, well, all the things that I'd done in my life, what was it that I could do? And because I'd run Pepsi in Asia, I knew all the CEOs of all the food retailers. So I convinced the food retailers that they should own their own premium brand. And the premium brand should not be like a white label, but a more premium product. And so we went around the world and convinced the Coles and Woolworths here in Australia, as well as Ito Yakato and the Daiei in Japan, and A.S. Watson in Hong Kong, and all the other major retailers in the region, to develop their own brands. And in the first year, we grew to about 70 employees, and we did $120 million in sales, and we became Exporter of the Year. So I'm truly the accidental entrepreneur. And it was all for my desire to stay in Australia at the time. Absolutely, yes. It was interestingly, it was here in Melbourne, and it was Coles Myer. And it was Kmart, to be specific. So, and we launched a little product called Australia's Choice for them, which was a whole range of food products. But that was the first yes, and that gave us the confidence to stumble into everyone else. So, yeah, but it was good. Success is seeing someone or helping someone do something they didn't think they could achieve. And I have to say my whole life has been that. So what has really been exciting to me is I have 4 children, seeing my children do things they didn't think they could do, or helping them do things they didn't think they could do. Helping colleagues, helping people that I've worked with, helping customers, helping everyone do something they didn't think they could achieve. And so I think success for me is the back end of a successful relationship where someone has actually achieved something they weren't prepared, or in their own mind didn't think they could achieve. Well, I have to say that my greatest formative experience, besides my parents always telling me that I could do anything, was working for Pepsi in New York. It was a fascinating time. The CEO of Pepsi had 2 jobs. He was the dean of the Harvard School of Business and the CEO at Pepsi at the same time, which was quite impressive for the 1980s. And he was incredibly helpful, and he was incredibly radicalized in that he really thought young people could do anything, and that gave us confidence to do anything. And obviously with a company like Pepsi, we got to work all over the world. And at a very early age, I got to work in every continent in the world and worked in hundreds of countries, which was an amazing experience. And because of that we could do anything and try it out, just don't make the same mistake more than once, was great. And I think the people that I got that really formative experience in New York in the early 80s was really important to me. And that allowed me to see the world and to embrace cultures from all over the world and do what I do today. I'm very fortunate that I don't think I'd do anything differently, but what I would say is that I skimmed the earth and had a lot of very shallow relationships. I didn't spend enough time digging deeply into relationships, and probably I didn't spend enough time smelling the roses along the way and enjoying the journey. And I would say if I had to do over again, I would counsel myself to enjoy the journey. I certainly counsel my kids, and my son is in Berlin starting up a company right now, and he's just graduated from University of Melbourne. So I said, see the world and make mistakes and enjoy what you do, because the mistakes are where you learn. I think we're entering the 3rd major societal shift in 150 years. And this shift that we're entering is going to make the industrial age and the information age combined look like kindergarten. And you're entering a major societal shift when there's a huge part of the world that is scared and that wants to go back to the good old days when America was great, or when the British Empire was great. And that's a great sign that you're entering it. I think personally, the next societal shift is going to offer the world and society unprecedented opportunities. So I see it very positively. I think other people are quite afraid of it, but I see it actually, we're going to have a much better planet because of it. Well, the first thing I would say is that we're headed towards 7 billion corporations at one. So whether you decide to proactively pursue the corporation of one or it's thrust upon you, it's coming. So the question is, what does your company do? Does your company assemble an idea and a purpose and take it to the world and gain followers? Or are you one of the enablers that actually help those drivers take their ideas to the world? And probably at this stage we believe about 6% of the world are drivers and 94% of the world are enablers. And if you understand that, and you understand that you're going to probably fit in one of those two buckets, and you start preparing for it now, you can have an incredibly enjoyable life. The great thing about 7 billion corporations at one is that command and control structures completely disintegrate. And when command and control structures disintegrate, the great things happen because people follow purpose. They don't follow a boss off a cliff. And I say that because in the future, we're not going to have 250,000 people following the CEO of Philip Morris off the cliff. They will choose to work on the projects that are aligned with their values. And I think we're going to have a better planet.